Evening guys, bit of an update. Having a little bit of a celebration. I don't even know what this beer is. Folky. This is 0.0. There's a difference between 0.0 and sin alcohol, which is no alcohol. Because sin alcohol, no alcohol beer can sometimes have alcohol in it in Spain. Where 0.0 is literally 0.0. So I'm sitting, chilling out, having a bit of a beer and just relaxing over the day. It's been a very busy day yet again, because even after I finished all the housing stuff, I was busy wrapping up stuff from work back in the UK today, because obviously I've been out all day, so there's a few things I had to do on the behalf of others, etc. A bit of decision making going on. But anyway, what about today? As I said earlier, we went into the bank. So the first thing at the bank, what information would you need? I suppose I'll start there. I had to give pay slips for I think 3 months, but I generally give 1 to 2 years, because they normally want your P60 if you're from the UK side. So they want 2 P60s, but obviously the second P60 is only recent, so it's 1 P60 from last year and just the pay slips, and then there's 2 financial reports, one from Experian, which is really hard for me because I don't exist in the Experian database because I've been overseas since 2007. So there's very little information UK side on me. I'm not on an electoral roll, no interest in being on one. As I mentioned on one of my previous videos, I'm not a Labour or Conservative is democracy type person. The fact is that's all we've got is not democracy. It just shows there's a failing in the democratic system. If you ask me what the solution is, I'm for recognition and representation proportional to the types of industries and people in the United Kingdom. So they should have a background in different types of lifestyles, what they're doing, how they work, and basically represented from different parts of the community. So they actually represent others outside of those that in some cases went to Eton. So that's my view on it. So I'm not bothered about electoral roll at all. Never have been, because I've never seen the UK system as functioning correctly or to the benefit of the people. Let's move past the politics. As I say, I don't want to linger on it, but that's my political view on it. So all the documents for the UK. If you've got a UK property, they want to know a bit of information on that. Banking information for the UK, banking information for the Spanish account. A letter from your employer saying that you're permanently employed, all that lovely stuff. What else is there? And I think that was pretty much it on the initial documents. Now, I've got a fair chunk of money in the bank, which is why it was a bit comical that we're going through a sort of rigmarole. Because I've got nearly enough in the bank to buy the house in cash. So it was a little bit comical with having to produce all this and going away and having a review of everything when we're not borrowing that. There's virtually, there is zero risk to the bank unless the entire economies of the Western world collapsed overnight. At which point they'd have bigger problems anyway. So that was the first stage, and then there was bits going back and forwards about the medical questionnaire. They sent me the bit about the mortgages, because you can have fixed or variable rate. I've gone for a variable rate because it's favourable at the minute. And there was a thing coming up today that was quite interesting, because the interest rates can be reviewed every 6 months on your mortgage. Now, when you get a mortgage with the bank, you're locked for the first year either way, and they lock the insurance in for the first year, and they'll try and lock you into the insurance by saying if you don't have their insurance, they'll adjust the interest rate on the mortgage. Now, for the first year, I'll put up with that stuff. Later on, I'll review it because I'm not too fussed. I'm looking at paying it off in quite a bulk. One of the things I am interested in seeing is once you get the first year and you can sort of review what you're doing with your mortgage going forward, is there a way to, if you're transferring it to another bank or whatever, to actually pay off a bulk during that transfer period to avoid paying a penalty fee on the mortgage? Maybe somebody else can help me with that one, because that may be the ideal way of getting around. I think they charge about 1% interest for paying early. So anyway, back on track. So documents go in, they review those. They then do one on your medical. Then asking information. Have you had diabetes? Do you suffer, alcoholism? How much alcohol you drink a month? How much you smoke? Medical history. Long questionnaires. I think it's about 14 questions. And then you have to sign every single yes or no question. There's a little box, sign, all the way down. Then that bit sort of completes that task. Then today, back in the bank again today, they then give you the information relating to the costs, because you pay your tax up front, which I believe is 10%. There's also a cost for like the Notary today, which was about €125. Then there's other costs that I've built up. I worked out myself, just put 15% to cover it, and I think I'm pretty much close to that, or a bit under, maybe around 13% of the total cost of the property. So there's lots of these little costs. Annual insurance for the house is $300,000. So today it was like, this is how much we would value the property at. This is what the insurance covers. The insurance coverage was a bit funny because it says covers, like acts of God and all this sort of stuff. Then when you flip the page over, it's all the small print. It's got to have so much rainwater. And there's a whole ream of criteria which basically blocked a lot of payouts. So do read the small print. I'm not too fussed on it, like I said, at the moment. Simply because we've got renovation and stuff to go ahead. Once I get through the first year, I'll reassess it properly. So they go through the bank today. Do you understand what the insurance is? Do you understand that you're locked for a year? It's a interest-based mortgage, not fixed. Fixed is where you pay a certain amount every single month. Variable mortgages on interest, based that you can fluctuate with the markets, which, like I said, I think they're locked at 6 months, so it's not changing every month. What else did we sign up today? Oh yeah, and then they give you a breakdown of the costs, what your monthly costs are. This is the mortgage. This is the interest on the mortgage. This is the insurance. All that stuff. Big breakdown. So we signed all that. Job done there. Then into Torrevieja town to go and see the notary. We went with our Hester. Our Hester's pretty good. She basically filled in all the paperwork for the notary. I want a job as a notary. I mean, it was ridiculously busy in there. They must be making money hand over fist in that place. But basically went through it, and with the contract, he's circling all the costs. He's going, right, that's €750, that's this, and he's going through it all. The questionnaire with another 14 questions. Did the bank explain this? Did the bank explain how the interest works? Did they explain that you've got a monthly cost? Did they explain your house can be repossessed? Do they explain you can be taken to court? All these sort of questions. Basically, did the bank actually explain about mortgages? Now, you may think, well, that's good. They're actually going through this. And don't be so naive on that one. The reason for this is to lock you in. Because if you've now got a legal representative, say, that's sort of independent from the bank, explaining to you that, did they explain this to you? Did they explain every little detail? Because when you get to a point, which has happened with investments, it's happened with mortgages, and where people go, oh, I didn't understand what the bank was doing to me. I didn't know. Were you missold PPI insurance? All these sort of things. The fact is, if they explained at this level and at your cost, it basically turns round and removes all that from the legal system. I get it all the time because I work in the corporate world, and it's like when you go in advanced driver training and all this stuff, you think, oh, the company really cares about it. No, they're removing their liability that you've had adequate training. So when you run somebody over a crossing, guess who's going to court? Not the company, you are, because they trained you. And on top of that, it's 10 times worse for you because you were better trained than a general driver, because you actually went through a separate course specifically for advanced training. So this is not as severe, but it's basically saying they've explained every little detail to you so you understand what you're locked into. They also explain that you can have the mortgage, which you may not be aware of, in sterling or in euros. Now myself, not bothered in either, because I try to keep the UK and Spain separate completely as much as possible. So for me, I want to keep in euros, keep it away from my UK finances. So that's fine. But you can actually change it to sterling as well. And that was that for today. They had to rush back because we're now sorting the kitchen out. So they wanted specific measurements. So we managed to get the real estate agent to come out, because she was going to remove all the family stuff from the house, because there's a lot of family, family photos and stuff. So she was going there anyway. So we went there and measured the kitchen up. I want to show you this little app I have. This is the new Apple Mac Pro. Sorry, it's not. It's the iPad Pro. I use this a lot for work. Now, what it has, it's got a LiDAR scanner. So this took me probably about 30 seconds to a minute. But this is an actual scan of the new house for the downstairs. So at the moment, this is the existing kitchen. And April's been working hard on 3D drawings, on adjustments and stuff. But one of the key things I've got with this, let me fold this, so I'm trying not to drop it while trying to show you something. So this is quite a handy tool I use. I use this at work as well because I'm probably doing about 14 kitchens this year with work as part of our many projects that we do. But it's very useful for, let's just say, up here we want to measure an area. Let's go back. Hang on, where are you? Close the blueprints down. Right, so for example, I just want a rough estimate on how big that window is up there. So I can actually just click on the bottom here, take the ruler, and then I can click. Let's find a better window. This one will do. Either side of the window, and it's a bit difficult to see on there, but it'll actually do the measurements for me. Now, it doesn't need to be 100% accurate at the minute, because we're still in the early stages of sorting stuff out. So things like the canopies, I don't need to know if it's 3 meters and 4. I can literally go, what's off the shelf, 2.6, or there's a 3 meter one. Guess what? I'll take the 3 meter one. The windows will be generic as well. They'll be standard sizes. So as long as you know height and width, if it's a few mil, I'm not fussed on it, because it should be pretty close anyway. So yeah, we're pretty much gearing up. What we're replacing on the new house will be the windows, the front door, Still talking about the flooring at the minute, because I had a look at the tiles today and I think the downstairs is all right. But so new kitchen going in, redoing all the electrics, the hot water system. I'm thinking of leaving the current water heater in at the minute, because I'm thinking of getting a solar water heater for the roof. And if we do that, that'll be piped into where the existing one is, and I've just got to look at the costs on that and whether it's good for the job, because there seems to be a few around, and some have had bad reviews and some have had good, so I need to understand exactly what I'm buying. Also, because of the way the water seems to destroy tanks here, I think I'm going to have to put a filtration system on the incomer to get rid of any crap before it hits the water heater to protect it. So a bit of review on that, so I'm not in a rush on that. I've seen 2 split air cons that we're going to get. They're LG units with air purifiers built in. So we're going to get 2 of those. I think we'll get one for the sitting room and then just one for the upstairs, probably put in the hallway. Simply because it's not a massive house, so we don't need one in every single room. And to be honest, it'll clutter the outdoors if it does with all these external units. And then obviously the bedroom's all being fitted out, a new TV unit. So it's going to be a busy period. But it should be some good news next week. Doesn't mean I'll be busy with painting and my little jet wash and stuff. I'll be sharing some of that stuff next week as well. Showing you the jet wash and showing you some of the other bits and pieces I've been buying for the new house. The first thing I want to do is jet wash the exterior, because I don't know how long it's been sandblasted. Because it's not far from the beach, and it doesn't look like it's seen a bar of soap or a brush in probably 10 years. So before I start thinking I need a lot of renovation work, let's clean it up first and see what we've got. There is a bit of steel work I think we'll need altering, but I'll speak to Igor on that one, because I do think we need to cut a section out, treat it, reseal it back up. But I mean, don't get me wrong, we could move in there tomorrow and you could live in there quite comfortably. But while we've got this place and that place, it's perfect time to look at the bathrooms, the kitchens, and just hit it hard, get a lot done. So when I head back to work, it's mainly just going to be moving stuff for April, rather than going to a house full of dust, going to a house full of half-complete projects. Be good to get the kitchen finished, got a kitchen to use, get the bathroom finished, got a working bathroom. It's just the small stuff. So we get the big stuff done, small stuff will follow. Been looking at the balcony area as well, and I think I'm going to get like a conservatory slanted roof, but I want it with fairly thick insulated panels rather than glass, because I don't fancy cooking alive up there. So looking at getting a framework put up and possibly the folding glass sections that come round, and about 2/3 of the balcony will be like a conservatory. Then the other bit will be an outdoor area for laundry, barbecue, the kids. It's not a massive house, but I think it's great for us. This apartment's fantastic. It is home for us, but having that outdoor space, I think, takes things to the next level. Because obviously we've got everything on our doorstep here. But if I could sit there and go, right, I'm going to go and sit in the conservatory, leave the windows open, sit and read a book or something, it doesn't get much better than that. But yeah, everything's good. You've got a lot done. Fairly content with everything. And the other bit of news today is it looks like Wales. Why did I say Wales? Spain will be opening up next week. That's what I was going to say, week, and they ended up in Wales. Next week, I think they're looking at opening Spain up to the Brits. Now, how long it'll be to get to the green notice, who knows? Because I do find the gate posts are like that. Because remember, all this was about, originally it was about case numbers and mortality rate, and now it's how many people have got the vaccine. And I've started seeing people today going, "Oh, everyone should get the vaccine." I don't want it. That's my personal view, and I know a lot of people that's like, "No, thanks." And if there's enough people already with the vaccine, I don't think it should be forced. So yeah, I'll quite happily give mine to India. I'm not really bothered. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I'm naive or whatever. I do think there is an issue there, but there's also the issue that I could get hit by a bus on the way to work one day. I don't see it as severe as it's being made out. And it's not because I'm a non-educated individual. The reality is I work with statistics all day. I work with numbers all day, and the numbers we get told, I don't think they're true figures, in my personal opinion. Don't get me wrong, mortality rates, yes. Is things out of control? I don't believe so. Were things out of control before? I think there was a high risk there, don't get me wrong, but I don't think we're shooting off where we've got somebody going up the street with a trolley going, "Bring out your dead," ringing a bell. I don't think we're anywhere near that. I think it is under a lot more control now than it was a year ago. I do have a big question mark on what's been going on in India for the last year, because the contacts I've had there, I've said nothing's changed in India since last year. It's always been this bad, which does ask the next question is, if it has been that bad, why are we suddenly just getting this media focus on it, just as everything's quietening down everywhere else? But like I say, keep positive. The main thing is, if Spain's opening up, that's fantastic. If we get a bit of normality, that's fantastic. But I will tell you, I do know how to hug people, and I certainly don't need the UK government or the BBC to tell me what to do on that stuff. I know the UK loves wrapping us up in cotton wool, but oh, come on. Come on, that's just too much. But anyway, I'm going to leave you to it, guys. I'm going to go and chill out. As you probably know, it's my eyes I saw again. That's from screen time, by the way. I know somebody mentioned about me having more vitamins. I do have vitamins, actually. I have these little ones here. These are actually little gummy bears. Because if you don't like vitamins, because I know a lot of people don't like the tablets, these little things do the job. And I have these ones here, because they close them here. In the UK, I have this other one. Plus, I have, what's it called? It's a vinegar. I'm trying to think which one it is, but it's good for your digestion system. It helps break foods down. So yeah, I do have some bits. But if I look tired, it's because I normally am at that time. A lot of these videos, like now, it's 10 o'clock. But I'm normally up every day early. I get up at 6:30. So at this time of day, I'm already on a wind down. That's why I'm having my extra strong, less than 1% alcohol, 0.0, folky. But yeah, just chilling out. So any other questions? Trying to think. Oh, there's questions about the butchers and everything else. They're all open. They're all open at different times of the day. Be aware, myself, I'm on UK time, so I will go out when the Spaniards are sleeping, or They haven't gone out yet, or the shops are closed. It's just bad habits. They have it the close in the afternoon a lot of times. So when I go out, they're not open. But bear in mind, the reason I go out is for a walk. So yeah, everywhere is open. Sunday things were closed, but that's to do with, I remember reading about it in the newspaper, giving people a day off on Sundays, which I find utterly mental, in my personal opinion, because a lot of the people that work on Sundays are part-time staff that only work the weekends. So it's sort of like, yeah, great. Students that work during the week, don't give them a job at the weekend. They need their weekends off. They could just stay at home and study because they've got no money to go out. Yeah, so they decided that was one of the great ideas to prevent people enjoying themselves on the weekend by doing some work. Well, work so they can afford stuff. But yeah, all good. I will update once everything goes through, and I'll mention some of the companies I get involved with around the purchasing the stuff as well. For example, we're at Schmidt Kitchens today. To be fair, they're a French German company. Very high quality, good stuff. But for where we are here, I think we'll probably end up going with Leroy Merlin or somewhere else for a cheaper kitchen. Because we haven't got a massive place here, and I don't see the point of spending a lot of money on a kitchen, unless it was on a £300,000 house. And to be fair, Leroy Merlin's quality is pretty good, and I work on the whole basis that every 15 years I put a new one in anyway. So it's like somebody saying we'll give you a 10-year warranty on this and a 15-year warranty on that, and I rip it out and do a new one. Yeah, I look after life cycle. It's a bad habit. We change windows, we change doors, we change the electrics. That's what I do is for work. So I already assume I'll rip it out in 15 years time, if not sooner. So yeah, Schmidt was a good one if you want a decent kitchen. But we went to Brico Depot. They're really good, near Elche. You can order stuff online. Deliveries seem to be 3 to 5 days, but I think we'll probably end up getting front door from there, windows, maybe even the kitchen. We're still, because I'm letting April decide the kitchen. That's her domain. Oh, you're dictating to your woman. No, my wife loves cooking. I'm not interfering in that. She gets what she wants. I'll just take the bill and pay it. She can design it, get whatever she wants, what colour she wants. I don't care. It's up to her. That's her space. Same as letting her choose, deciding the front door and stuff. She's here more than I am. I'll deal with the windows and other bits and pieces. And obviously I'll get the conservatory bit, which is my space upstairs on the roof deck. So everyone's happy. But yeah, can't wait to move in now. Like I said, this is a great apartment. This one will be coming for rent as well. This is a 3-bedroom, not far from the beach. It's probably, 50 metres from the beach. Has a small balcony. Got a solarium up on the roof for their laundry or just chilling out. And the people in the block are pretty cool, and it's quite a quiet area. And obviously the 2-bedroom that's for rent is underneath this one. Yeah, it's a nice little community in this area. I do know since we've been here, a lot more people have moved out here. I've got to be to blame for some of that. But anyway, guys, 30 minutes gone, so I'm going to leave you to enjoy your evening. Thanks for watching, and speak to you soon.